All right. Thanks for all being here, and I know you're here for the long haul. But recap from the weekend. Obviously, great occasion, be able to knock off NAU at NAU. My understanding is it's been a long time. Was it Tom? You got the number for me? What year that last time we beat them down? '06 was the last time we beat them down there. So just again, this team just amazes me with their grit, determination, the toughness they have in those moments. I think end of the fourth set, we saw had set point a couple of times, and we fought back. I think they're up 24-21 or 24-20, and we were able to get on a run and stretch it out. And I think we're unlucky at that point not to take the match in four. And then again in the fifth set, they had match point, and we came back and put the pressure on them and were able to run over them in there at the end. So just thrilled for the team they were able to do that. And there were some circumstances that outside of our control with a bus where we actually had to walk back to the hotel after the match. So it was a bit of a letdown after the match that we're walking, and it was about 20 degrees. It was freezing in Flagstaff. And we're walking back to the hotel, but we were all in pretty good spirits, so it was fun. It would have been a lot harder walk if we had lost. But yeah, it was a great occasion. And then obviously long trip over to SEU. SEU is a new team. I'm trying to think, as I was walking up here, how many of the girls that played against us on Saturday afternoon were in their starting lineup last year, and I would hazard a guess one, maybe two. So it's a brand new team, good coaching staff doing a great job. And, we had a good meeting this morning with the leadership group, just figuring out, where we tripped up over ourselves, really, because we didn't play well on Saturday afternoon. SEU played really well. And we were caught out, and I just think it's a little bit of a come down after NAU, and that's a maturity, a growth thing, and it's a great lesson to learn at week 3 in conference play, and we still have a number of weeks to go to make that a mental adjustment. So, that's kind of the recap from the weekend. So, I got lots of stories. Most of them are off the court.
What do you say just about this week's matchups?
This week, I put Weber State in to win the conference in the preseason poll. I think they're the best team in the conference on paper. I got to dive into the film a little bit more, figure out what's going on for them, because they're not performing at the level that they want to or are capable of. So we're very conscious of them coming in. They're going to be a very hard match, and I got a lot of respect for Jeremiah and what he does there. He's got all the talent that he needs to be very successful, and My thing is we've got to be prepared. We've got to go out with our preparation and handle what we can on our side of the court. I think Saturday, Idaho State, I know Sammy really well, the new head coach at Idaho State. We were in the Pac-12 together. She was at Arizona State, and then she was at Utah State for a couple of years, so I know her really well. I know the kind of system she's looking to run and the way she's handling things, and I think they're probably going through the growing pains of a change of system, a change of head coach, but there's no doubt they have talent in that gym. So I think it's going to be probably the toughest weekend we've faced in terms of both matches. I think NAU, SUU, I would put that way, but both matches this week are going to be pretty tough. So it's going to be a great challenge for us to give us a test of where we're at.
You said, I think you tweeted it out, that SOU game was a big teaching moment for your team.
Yeah.
What did you learn out of it?
We've got to control what we can on our side. I think for me, personally, I think there's more control I can have over myself and my emotions. I think I got caught up in a couple of refereing decisions and it caused me to have a lack of clarity in helping us execute offensively. And then also for the team, like I alluded to earlier, that a big win against NAU, we've got to go in with that same mindset against SU. I think unfortunately, whatever you do in history has an impact on what you do in the future. You have a mindset of, we've beaten SEU 3 out of the last 4 times, so hey, let's go into SEU and we're going to beat them. Not the case at all, of course. You got to take every team for their merits on the night, and we never had that conversation. We got into each other a little bit in our scouting meeting about, I made it really clear we've got to take them and at their merit for who they are this year, not who they have been. And yet, everybody on the team identified afterwards, we're a little bit more relaxed than we were against NAU. We're a little bit, riding the high of NAU a little bit longer than we should have. And, that's the part of the evolution of the program, evolution of the team, is we have to learn how to deal with that.
Wins over teams like NAU, Idaho, how kind of nice is that sort of tangible evidence that, the program's going in the right direction?
It's great. I mean, I think it's a real encouragement for us as a coaching staff. But I think most importantly, it's evident. It's like hard evidence to the team that what we're doing is paying off. The work they did over the summer is paying off. The physical condition they're in is paying off. The number of times I looked through the net. I mean, NAU are a little obnoxious with their 7,000 feet warning sign, effects of altitude and this kind of thing. And then a number of times I looked through the net after a long rally, and their players are hunched over, hands on knees, kind of gasping for air, and our players are like shoulders back, pumped, ready to go. Was like, yeah. I mean, Alex Jardine has done a phenomenal job getting us in shape. I think Brittany Patera has done an enormous job for us, helping us with our nutrition management. And so I look at our group, and they know they're there. They know they're ready to play. They know that they have everything they need to execute. And when you get the result, it just helps reinforce all of that. So it's great.
When you get to this point of the season, like 6 games in,
Yeah.
How do you think the league is sort of shaping up?
It's a mess right now. Yeah, it really is. I mean, you've got, I think it's 3 or 4 teams tied for second at 4-2, us being one of them, which is great. I think you got UNC who have kind of stretched it out 6-0 and undefeated in league play, and rightly so. I think they are proving to be the best team in the league right now. But then, like I said, I think you've got teams like Idaho are still finding their feet. I think you got Weber State, who for whatever reason are where they are in terms of results, and and then you got Montana, who's going out there and doing a really good job against NAU, taking them to 5. And you got NAU have got some long-term injury issues. So it's going to be really interesting. I think the fun part about coaching volleyball in the Big Sky is you feel like you can win every night. The hard part is winning every night. And UNC's kind of figured that out so far, and the rest of us are finding our way a little bit. But I'd much rather be 4-2 than 2-4. I'll tell you that.
And then do you look at this weekend as a chance to kind of maybe separate a little bit?
Yeah. I mean, and that's what I felt about Saturday at SU. If we'd come out and been 5-1, then we're clear in second. And again, if we're able to get a couple of victories this weekend, we'll separate ourselves a little bit more, which would be great. Certainly not taking for granted that's going to happen. We're going to have to earn every point, but from a imaginary standpoint, I guess, it's great.
Every weekend or every weekend here we talk about Rizzo.
Yeah.
And watching her play this week.
Oh, man.
She had some huge numbers, and she looked like she had totally stepped up her game. Do you think once she got the school record that she's just playing all loosey-goosey? I mean, she was taking some shots and picking everything up.
Yeah, I mean, NAU, she was huge. It took her a minute. I think Aiken at NAU is a legitimate, middle blocker. I mean, she could play anywhere, do anything she wants. And it took a minute for Rizzo to figure her out, probably the first set and a half. But once she figured her out, Rizzo just ate her up. And then I think Davis on the right side there hit a really heavy ball. And I've got visions of Rizzo just being stuck on the line there, just digging her and almost saying, yeah, bring it, And she's certainly finding her groove, and again, it's one of those sweet things where I think she's 4th in the nation right now, Tom, and 7th all time in Big Sky, and she's continuing to set records every weekend. To go out in a 4-set match against SU and get 31 digs, almost 8%, just ridiculous. And then to be getting in the holes that she does against NAU, we don't win that match without Rizzo. There's no doubt about it. And so we know that we've got a very special athlete on our hands. And again, I think just for everybody who's watching or listening, I mean, for her to have the perspective for her that she practiced last week for 25 minutes because she's in hospital, because she's in class, and yet she's doing what she's doing. I mean, you talk about a true student athlete, just an incredible kid. And we had a long day of travel yesterday, and we had 4-hour layover in Denver. And what are all of the girls doing, including Rizzo? They're working on their homework for 4 hours in Denver airport after getting up at 4 a.m. to get a flight out of St. George. I mean, talk about a dedicated group of student athletes. And like we talked about a minute ago, I couldn't be more happy that they're getting the results on the court for their hard work, because their hard work is all the stuff that people don't see. What people see is the results on a Saturday or Thursday. But yeah, Rizzo leads the charge in that. She's the leader of the team. There's no doubt about it. And everyone follows behind her. So it's pretty cool when she's able to do it.
How do you think the libero position has maybe revolutionized it? It's been a while since it's
Yeah.
been a part of the game, but
Yeah, I mean, it's really significant. I mean, I think when I look at building a roster, the two positions that I think if we can be really good at, we have a chance to be great is libero and setter. If you have a first contact and a second contact that really are masters of their craft, then you've got a chance to be at the top of the conference. And I think what we've got in Rizzo is the number 4 libero in the country. In all of Division I volleyball, not splitting it up, Power 5, Group of 5, anything like that. All of Division I, well, we've got one of the best liberos in the country. So without a doubt, the best libero in the conference. And when you've got someone who's a master of their craft that way, it really just gives you the start you need. You know, we talk about the first contact, whether it's the serve or the pass or the dig. And she's just great at all of them. And it sets us up for success. So it's significant, the change it's made to the game, there's no doubt.